It's gonna be big.
Hire us.
Let's do an intro, Lauren.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. It's Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is my Mergal Pal, and you are listening to the Everyday Mermaid podcast. We're back. Oh, wait. 1 second. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Sorry, I was checking the audio because that's how long it's been. We are back in the studio, friends. I can't believe it. Can you believe it?
No.
I can't believe
Our
it.
state is currently in phase 2, which means that restaurants are at 50% capacity and you can gather in groups of 10.
Yes.
And we are
We are two individuals here, merfolk, just living our best lives at the moment. We haven't seen each other physically,
Not since you gave me the recording equipment.
which was, I don't know, months
Yeah.
ago.
It was contactless. So it would
Yeah.
have been the beginning of April.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would have been the beginning of April, but that's when our school officially shut down.
Yes. And we, if y'all listened, we did do a few remote podcasts with Corny Mermaid, Felicia with Fins. We got to meet Tracy Hines. I mean, that was a great time for sure. But I gotta say, being here together in Paris. No. No, in Paris.
I fell across that, and I just thought I always thought that was the weirdest animation.
Yeah, I think they must have watched some actor do do it, and they drew it the way the actress did it, and I don't know.
You have no idea what my nude scene in Anastasia, in which she reads her necklace, and because she is a child, she holds it up to the front of her nose and crosses her eyeball.
And that is what we were referencing. Okay, but as far as the mermaid world is considered, I mean, so much has happened. Global pandemic. Yes. Yes, that kills the virus apparently. Murder hornets.
Your post today. Oh my god, that was hilarious. So West Nile has been discovered in mosquitoes in Nashville, which I mean it's discovered every year.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes in Nashville, we're southern, more humid.
It's just a thing.
Water everywhere.
Yeah.
We get West Nile. And Abby posted today, and she's like, "Anybody have West Nile virus on their bingo card?" I should not have read that at work, y'all. I laughed out loud.
Well, what's even crazier is they're like, it's in 3 neighborhoods in East Nashville. One here, and then one literally at the intersection that we live in Nashville. I was like, oh God. So I went and got my organic pest repellent stuff. And hopefully we, that would suck,
Dryer sheets and all the pockets.
Oh, dryer sheets. Okay.
I think it's that.
Oh, I mean, I'll do whatever. Oh, okay. My goodness. There was something else other than the giant civil rights movement that we will talk about in a moment.
Will we?
Oh, yes. And we will share them. And we hope that you will listen with open ears.
What is the meme that's been going around where it's is it Paul Rudd in the car and he's like, so what's been happening? And then the guy's like, World War III almost started and global pandemic and social and economic unrest and murder hornets. Other than that,
it's fine. Everything's fine. It is interesting, 2020 is shaped up to be a very what's the word? I want to be like, I feel like I have grown and transitioned into a whole new being,
I mean, basically, if you'd have said 5 years ago, what was your in 5 years? You're saying it.
No, this is not what I would have thought.
Did you find that you want to be where the people are?
No, that still hasn't changed. Honestly, Lauren, like once I figured out a good. Oh, hi, Theodore.
Oh, Theo's given us his octopus.
That's a squid.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's squid.
And once I like finally got a routine of like staying home, I kind of like it. And I mean, I like you coming over to my house, but honestly, like I really don't like to go places and socialize.
Yeah. Brendan discovered. Oh, that's his name. That's my
boyfriend.
I'm built for this. I watch more television than could ever be legal.
What did you watch?
Oh gosh.
Tiger King.
Yeah, that was great. I think we talked about that though.
Yeah, but I never posted that episode because I was depressed.
Right.
I was depressed, friends.
Why? What an idea. So, yes, definitely watched Tiger King because that was some just beautiful track television.
So good.
I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I did a puzzle in that time. I found the piece.
Oh my gosh.
The piece of that freaking
Where was it?
It's a 2,000 pieces, y'all. 2,000 pieces I got at Walmart. And it's the Disney Villains. And it's like beautiful. And I finished the whole puzzle in parts of Ursula's hand is missing. And I'm so mad. Except at the same time, it's a Disney Villains puzzle that I got from Walmart. Of course it's missing a piece. So I tore the couch apart. I tore the loft apart. I tore everything up there apart. No piece. 1 month later, I put on my cardigan. I put my hands inside that cardigan.
Oh my gosh.
So not only did I find the piece, come to find out that piece has gone through the laundry.
I was wondering, did you wash your cardigan?
It doesn't even matter. It's never going to fit. Yeah.
Well, at least you solved the mystery.
I'm so mad. I'm so angry. I finally hit my thing, and I I'm talking to boyfriend, and I stopped dead in my tracks, dead sentence speech, and he's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And I turn around, and I have that piece up, and he, falls to the floor. He's laughing so hard, and I'm. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Tiger King. That was great.
Yeah.
A really good documentary called Zero Drink Sushi. If you've never watched it. So I, for some reason, always thought it was on the same par as Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. I don't know why. I thought it was satire and comedy and silly. It's not.
Oh.
It's about this guy who has been making sushi since he was 9 years old. And he has 3 Michelin stars for his restaurant that only has 10 seats and starts at $300 per plate.
Oh my gosh.
And is inside of a Tokyo subway station.
What? Huh.
3 Michelin stars.
That sounds fascinating.
Oh, it was so good. And so we watched that. It was really, really good.
Okay.
We watched Ozark.
Yep.
It was actually something I had never planned on watching because I don't tend to like television shows about drugs just because they bore me, not for any other reason.
You said you weren't going to watch it.
I wasn't. Turns out it's not really.
You what? Yeah, it's really not.
It's really not about drugs. It's really about the people. And Jason Bateman.
So good.
Laura Linney.
So good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we finished that and oh my God.
Yeah.
And, and to decompress from that, we started Parks and Rec.
Okay, good.
Which I haven't seen episodes of. I've just never watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
I've also started She-Ra.
Oh.
Because people kept talking about it.
Okay.
That's pretty cute. That's
okay.
Really cute. And since boyfriend is out of town right now, I am binge watching all the Jane Austen I can get.
I love it. We watched the other day. We watched Aquaman. I had not seen Aquaman.
Oh. I haven't watched that either.
So pretty, and Nicole was in that too. And and it was good. But the underwater, I was like, please, God, please don't let Little Mermaid be like this, because it's all filmed like, they CGI their hair to look like it's flowing, but they're actually, I don't know. We got to work on it a little bit, friends. We got to work on it. So I'm hoping.
Pixar's really good at creating new technology.
Yes. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen.
Like, they created a brand new technology just for Meredith's hair.
I know. I really think I gotta it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Speaking of the live action Little Mermaid and speaking of a black Ariel, we should probably discuss what's going on right now. What are your thoughts and feelings about it? And we can really connect it with the mermaid community here in a second. We'll tie it all together for you.
Yeah. I don't think anyone is going to be surprised by my opinions on it. Very simply that Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
No one, not a single person, has ever said your life doesn't matter.
Right.
Your life is in danger right now.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
No,
it's not.
Yep.
And the systematic oppression of Black people, specifically in America, has gone on for hundreds of years. And they are very tired of it.
Yeah.
And it's 2020.
Yeah.
It's beyond time.
Yeah.
For this to have a solution. Oh God, I didn't think I'd get emotional, but we are. I am, because of the job that I do.
She's a teacher.
I'm a teacher. It is extremely important that I remain healthy as I absolutely possibly can, because we are currently only open right now to the families of individual employees, and if I get sick, then one of them gets sick, and if one of them gets sick, then it's possible for hundreds of other people to get sick.
Yeah.
So I have not been able to participate in the protests, which have been remarkably peaceful here in Nashville. And so I have donated money to the Black Lives Matter movement, and they are fantastic, and that is their whole point. That's what they're doing, is to help end the systematic oppression of Black people in America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really all there is to it. It's not a difficult concept
Yeah.
to grasp, and I think people tend to make it more complicated than it needs to be. It's not. At the end of the day, my job as a white person is to be the best ally I can be, and that is to dedicate my time and my brain to being a better ally. So I'm going to be reading, and I'm going to be teaching, and I'm going to be giving money to this movement, because it's past time.
Yeah. I think I was raised in a very small southern town. And when I moved to the big city, I started asking myself, why do I feel these feelings towards Black people? Because I started actually having friends that were Black. Like, I didn't really have friends that were Black. When I grew up, I went to it was 50-50 white and Black public school, but they were separate. And in my mind, and I remember, people like all these just all these crazy things about Black people, like they're scared of dogs and they don't swim, and Black men are to be feared. Yeah, that type of thing was very prevalent and just in my mind. And I have been that white girl in the elevator clutching her purse when I'm alone with a Black man. Like, I have been that girl, and it has this movement, not just now. I mean, it's been like the past 10 years, I feel like I've changed a lot in this area. But I mean, my grandmother was a little concerned when we had a Black man in our wedding party. She was wondering why we had a colored person in our wedding party. And so, that's just where I come from. And so I I had to like seriously unlearn these things that were just that's what it was. I feel like even now, I'm learning like so much right now, and it's important, and um I am finally realizing that like just being white is a privilege, and honestly, like I would not be here where we are right now if I was black.
Yeah.
I would not.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just crazy.
Mhm.
And I just think that it's important for us as white people to look inside ourselves and realize how privileged we are, and to use that privilege to be an ally to the black community. And yeah, I just think that, especially my southern white friends, like we can't say that all lives matter, because when you break a bone, the doctor doesn't say, well, all bones matter. We fix the bone that's broken. So I yeah, I just think that we all need to realize that racism is real, and it's something that truly was. I learned these things somehow. Somehow these things were taught to me growing up, and we got to unlearn this stuff and help our friends out here, because it's crazy. And especially, I don't know, I think a lot of it in the mermaid community. When I joined the mermaid community, and I was in theater and stuff, so I mean, like pride and LGBTQ, like all that stuff was around, but I'm actually, like friends with these people. Like we are so like close friends with LGBT. Did I say that? LGBTQ. Sorry. But I'm actually friends with these people. And so like my growing up in this southern town, I was like, these people are bad. You don't associate yourselves with these people. And I'm like, but these people are my friends, and they're actually really great people. And I don't understand why I'm supposed to think this way. Like unlearning these things is so important. And I'm glad that we're finally having these conversations, because I don't know who's listening out there, but it's okay to have been wrong. It's okay to have made these mistakes. And what is the Maya Angelou? It's you learn. If you know better. Wait, go ahead.
All I've got going through my head is the line from South Pacific. You have to be carefully taught to hate and fear people.
Yes, it's true. These aren't things that you're born with.
Yeah.
These aren't thoughts that
Children are not inherently racist.
They're not.
They're taught to be.
Yeah.
So I read a really, really good post on Facebook actually this morning, and it's a gentleman whose course name I'm not going to remember because I'm terrible and didn't save the post. But
sure.
He was cast in the Hyperion Theater in Frozen.
Oh, I read that.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
I did.
So good, right?
So good.
And so he was talking about like he is black, and it had not occurred to him that until this role that he was cast in, every role he had up until being cast as Hans at the Live at the Hyperion Theater had been based on the color of his skin. He would only be cast because he was black.
Yeah.
And he was reminded of that again and again and again. And then he got cast as Hans, who obviously in the movie Frozen is white. And when he kind of went to the casting director about it, to like thank her, he's like, well, "You're talented and amazing. That's why I cast you."
Yeah.
And then of course a new director came in and squashed all of it and was a terrible person, and HR needs to do a better job. That is your job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, I felt some emotions. But he talked about going to these cast parties and, like, well, if we can have a black Hans, why can't we have a white Tiana? Oh, for the love of God.
Lord.
So, I'm going to tell you why we can't have a white Tiana.
Tell us, Lauren.
I will tell you. Okay, so, Frozen, the original story is The Snow Queen, and it's by Hans Christian Andersen, who was in Sex And of course, in the time that it was written, probably not a whole lot of black people in Danish land.
In Denmark.
And however, if you read the story, or you even watch the film, the color of their skin doesn't inform their story at all. They happen to be white because they're in Denmark, in a fictional place called Arendelle, but probably also in Denmark.
Same thing with The Little Mermaid.
Tiana, if you watch the movie, and you should, her entire story is informed by the fact that she is a black woman. Thanks, Theo. Like, she literally gets into her mama's. No, her mama doesn't have a car.
Nope.
They get onto the
bus
trolley to go to the other side of the tracks. From her best friend Charlotte's house, who lives in a giant mansion with her daddy that can buy the newspaper with a giant wad of cash, to their side of town, where the shanties are. And where clearly all the black people are. So clearly, red line New Orleans. Clearly redline New Orleans. If you don't know what redlining is,
look it up.
Educate yourself right now, because we're not having a conversation until you do. How dare you? Redline New Orleans. She has to go to pack her part of town, literally her part of town, and she has to struggle the rest of her life just to get to the same place that her friend Tiana can get.
Charlotte.
Love Charlotte. But Charlotte can buy that building by tapping her daddy on the shoulder. Tiana works every single day of her life, multiple jobs. That's why you cannot have a white Tiana, because her entire story is informed by the fact that she's a black woman. Hello.
And case closed. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah. Quiet. Sit down and listen. It's not your turn to talk, white people. It's your turn to listen actively. I say that on my podcast where I talk to the Anyway,
Yes.
that was the monologue I had with myself in the mirror.
I love that monologue, and I think it is important to hear. White people, especially.
White folk. So, anyway, the moral of
Yes.
the story is merfolk for Black lives.
Yes. So our dear friend, Shay
I was
Monique,
joking about her.
Shay Monique, who is the head of the Society of Fat Mermaids, really brought this to my attention, but she has created something specifically for the mermaid community. And we will link the YouTube video that she made in this description of this podcast and video version if you're watching. But so Mermaid Shay Monique is an incredible mermaid, and I feel like I've learned so much from her, just like in general. But we had her on the podcast talking about the Society of Fat Mermaids, and she was amazing. And when we sat down to dinner after the podcast, or before, after, yeah, we went to Cracker Barrel. I do love their cinnamon apples. So we went and had dinner, and I felt like I wanted to record the whole conversation we had, because she was talking about growing up as a black little girl, and it's just stuff that I cannot imagine going through, and she went through it.
Yeah.
And it's apparently the case for a lot of black children, and I had no idea. So definitely check out Mermaid Shay Monique, but she's created, it's called #Merfolk for Black Lives. And what she's asking you to do if you're a mermaid is not only to spread awareness for the Black Lives Matter movement, but also to educate yourself and somehow figure out a way, what is your why? Why do you care about this movement? Why are you an ally? How are you using your white privilege to, benefit the movement? And so it really challenged me, and I really had to sit and think, because I feel like I definitely grew up in a racist mentality, I wasn't aware of it, but and so like I had it in my story, but I was like, I want to be like, I want it to be more. I want it to be not about me and my story. I want it to be about them and like, I don't know. So I ended up doing some research and um, I found some interesting statistics about Black people, because I was wondering, I was like, why are there so few Black mermaids? Or there's way more white mermaids than Black mermaids, I feel like, in the mermaid community specifically. And I was like, why is that? And then so I start Googling and researching, and I'm like, pools just in general and Black people, there's a huge racial tension with specifically with pools.
I wonder why.
It's crazy, and because of all of that, Black children are they are more drownings,
3 times more likely.
3 times more likely to drown if you're a Black child as opposed to a white child. And I'm like, this is not okay. And I mean, 70% of Black people don't know how to swim, period. When I think with white people, it's like a 48%, 50%. It's less. Again, and it's because it's a huge story, and I tried to sum it up in my Instagram post today, but it had to do with when they ended up desegregating the public pools, and Black people and white people could swim together. The white people ended up not showing up to these public pools and building their own private clubs or, residential pools or whatever. And so these public pools ended up not getting funded, or like when they need to be replaced, they just don't. And so Black people don't have access to pools as much as white people do. What kind of privilege is like the fact that I can go to a pool, like that is a privilege. Yes. It's a huge problem, and I'm not okay with it. And so that's kind of been I feel like it does tie into the mermaid community, because that's probably why there aren't as many Black mermaids as white mermaids, because they don't know how to swim. So I've been doing my best.
It's not that they don't know how to swim.
They've been prevented
systematically oppressed into
to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So kind of going on of it, I found a post that I'm so thrilled by, and it's called Anti-Racist Literature.
Oh, yes, do tell.
I'll share some of the books because it's rather a long list, and if you're listening to us, do your research. I am a teacher, but I teach preschoolers, so I expect fully grown adults to look into things themselves. So I shall also give you some topics, anyway, or some books to look at.
And
so this is the starter,
we'll link the kit.
We will. This is the starter kit. White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism, by Robin DiAngelo. And so you want to talk about race by, I'm so sorry, Roma Uluo.
Yep.
Hoping that's right. And
sure.
This intermediate kit includes The Burning House by, Anders Walker. And also How to Be Anti-Racist by Ibram Kendi. My mother is reading that.
Love it.
Topic specific lit. Poverty and Housing.
That's good.
It's by Matthew Desmond.
Mm-hmm.
If you want one about education, colonialism, and ahistoricism. Lies My Teacher Told Me by James Lower.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Because we ain't perfect. I know I'm not. Let's see. Segregation, Housing, Discrimination, and Redlining, The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein. And then biographies, nonfiction, novels, personal narratives. This is currently on my shelf. The Coming by Michelle Obama.
Oh.
Read that. Oh my gosh. Oh, that woman is my idol.
She's pretty great.
She's amazing. And The Warmth of Other Sins by Isabel Wilkerson. So those are just some options.
I have one to add.
Oh, please do.
about the swimming. It's called Contested Waters, a social history of swimming pools in America.
So the original post is a Twitter post by Victoria Alexander. It's very popular right now, and it's literally just pictures of books in their different categories.
And we'll link it for you
Yes.
in the description. And as far as donations are concerned, where can people donate?
Obviously, the Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, yeah. There's a bunch of lists I'm reading off here, but this is there's the George Floyd Memorial Fund. There is the Bail Project. I will link this list for you as well. So we'll have a lot of resources for you so that you don't have any excuse not to
Yeah.
participate. But
It's just,
Yep.
it's-
Yep. And you know who else supports Black Lives Matter? Jodie Benson,
Jodie.
the voice of The Little Mermaid. She supports Black Lives
I'm
Matter.
not gonna lie, that actually
Does it
very
surprise you?
pleasantly
Mhm.
surprises me, but I'm thrilled.
Love one another as yourself. That's kind of, I believe, her approach.
Yes, that's true.
So yes. So even Jodie Benson supports Black Lives Matter, friends. Go Jodie. Do what Jodie does.
We were talking about her on the way up the stairs, and I was like, I know that she's really upset that her daughter's first year in college has been like really squashed, but deep down, Jodie is thrilled.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I think she's happy to have her girl home for show. Yes. So we hope, Jodie, we hope you're having a great time in quarantine or phase whatever you might be in. Not sure what phase you're in. But yes, friends, Black Lives Matter. They just do.
What is that? Legally Blonde.
Oh yeah, happy people don't kill their husbands. They just don't. So, from the words of Reese Witherspoon, we shall end this podcast. Thank you to everybody that listens. You can go to patreon.com/everydaymermaid to get our episodes a day early. Thank you so much for listening, and we will.
See you on the flip side.
Bye, mermaids.
Bye.